I never considered myself a liar. Not really. I've always been the one people turn to for the truth, the one who diffused drama instead of creating it, the responsible one. But the truth is, even the most honest people can find themselves wrapped in a lie if they're scared enough to keep the peace. I was 25 when I told the biggest lie of my life, not for myself, but for everyone else. And it nearly tore me apart from the inside out. It all started the year after college, when I moved back home temporarily to save money. I had landed a decent job at a nonprofit in town and figured I could live with my parents for a bit while I sorted out my next steps. My mom and dad were thrilled to have me back. My younger brother, Luke, had just started college, so it was just the three of us in the house again, like it used to be. Living at home came with its comforts: laundry magically folded, dinners always ready, and that sense of familiarity you don't realize you miss until you're back. But it also came with expectations, spoken and unspoken. Expectations that I'd be the glue, the listener, the calm voice of reason whenever tension arose. And tension, especially between my parents, had started bubbling up more often than I remembered. I'd come home from work to cold silences, or overhear snippets of sharp conversations behind closed doors. It wasn't like there was shouting or anything that screamed disaster, but the air felt heavy. I asked them about it once. My mom brushed it off, and my dad changed the subject. I didn't push. That was the beginning of my mistake. About 6 months in, things took a turn. One night, my mom asked me to meet her at a diner near the library. Somewhere neutral, she said. I didn't know what to expect, but what she told me changed everything. I need to tell you something, and I need you to promise not to tell your father. She was trembling slightly, clutching her teacup like it was the only thing keeping her steady. She had been in contact with someone from her past, someone she used to date before meeting my dad. They'd reconnected through a Facebook group. It started with friendly messages, then evolved into something more. She swore she hadn't crossed any major lines, not physically, but emotionally. She was somewhere she shouldn't be, and she felt trapped, confused, lonely. I was stunned. This wasn't the kind of thing you expect to hear from your mother. My first instinct was to ask why she was telling me. Why not talk to a therapist or a friend? But she said she didn't have anyone else, that I was the only person she trusted, that I was always the level-headed one. And that's when I made the worst decision. I agreed to keep her secret. I told myself I was protecting my family, that telling my dad would only blow things up, that it was just a phase and things would go back to normal. But the moment I took that burden, something shifted in me. From then on, I was living two lives. With my mom, I was the confidant, the secret keeper. She'd give me updates, talk about her feelings, cry about her regrets. With my dad, I was the dutiful daughter, pretending everything was fine. The weight of it started affecting me in ways I didn't realize. I lost focus at work. I became irritable, anxious, snapping at friends over tiny things. I couldn't sleep. Every time I sat down for dinner with my parents, I felt like I was watching a movie in slow motion. A film where I already knew the tragic ending, but couldn't stop the scenes from playing out. Then, one day, my dad came to me with a question that shattered whatever illusion I'd been clinging to. Is your mother seeing someone? I felt my stomach drop. Why would you ask that? He looked tired, older somehow. She's been distant, and I'm not stupid. I froze. My heart raced. All I had to do was say yes, just tell the truth. But instead, I shook my head and said, I don't think so. Lie number 2. That night, I stared at my reflection in the bathroom mirror and barely recognized the girl looking back. This wasn't who I was. But now I was in too deep. I'd protected one person by betraying another. And no matter what I did, someone I loved was going to be hurt. The weeks that followed were a blur of tension and silence. My mom stopped talking about the other man, as if pretending it had all been a dream. My dad grew more distant, more suspicious. I was caught in the middle, trying to hold everything together while falling apart myself. And then the truth exploded. My mom's phone buzzed one evening while she was in the kitchen. My dad happened to see the screen light up. A name he didn't recognize. A message that wasn't just friendly. It wasn't graphic, but it was enough. The confrontation that followed was nothing like the quiet tension I'd grown used to. It was shouting, accusations, tears, slamming doors. My mom tried to explain. My dad didn't want to hear it, and in the middle of it all, I confessed. I knew, I whispered. The room went still. My dad turned to me, eyes wide. You knew? I nodded. She told me months ago. She made me promise not to tell. That moment broke something in him, not just because of what my mom had done, but because I, his daughter, the one he trusted, had chosen to lie to him too. The fallout was messy. My dad left for a few days, staying with a friend. My mom was devastated. I tried to fix things, to apologize, to explain that I was trying to protect everyone. But all he could see was betrayal. Eventually, he came back. They started counseling. They're still together, working through things. But the dynamic has changed. There's a crack now, visible and deep. And as for me, I moved out. I needed space. I needed to figure out who I was, outside of the peacemaker, the fixer, the buffer between other people's messes. I started therapy. I journaled every day. I tried to forgive myself. And here's what I've learned. Lying to keep the peace doesn't prevent chaos. It delays it. It grows it in the dark. The truth has a way of surfacing, whether you're ready or not. Now, when I look back, I don't beat myself up. Not entirely. I was trying to help. I thought I was doing the right thing. But now I know that love isn't about carrying someone else's burden in secret. It's about encouraging them to face it, own it, and deal with it head on. If you're in a situation where you're holding something for someone else, a secret that's eating at you, ask yourself, who are you really protecting? Because sometimes the bravest thing you can do is speak the truth, even when it hurts.